Seller concessions. What are they? Let's get after it. Hey, VA Nation. Jeff Newton here with National VA Loans, powered by Stride Bank. Contact us here. It's 855-956-4040, 855-956-4040. Check us out online at nationalvaloans.com. Okay, seller concessions. Let's get after it. What are they? How do they work? And how, as a buyer and a veteran, can you utilize these seller concessions? Well, first of all, seller concessions are simply this. They are concessions from the seller if you're purchasing a home that the seller is going to allow to use towards your closing costs. So seller concessions paid for closing costs. So like while the VA loan is 100% financing, there's no money down requirement. On all loans, there are closing costs associated with that, whether it be from the title company, transfer taxes, mortgage state taxes, or your escrows like your homeowner's insurance, your property tax, your year's worth of homeowner insurance is, of course, one of the bigger ones. All those things are included in closing costs. And then, of course, any fees you might have from the lender, whether it be your processing, your underwriting fee, appraisal, credit report, things, items of that nature. Now, the VA allows up to 4% of seller paid closing costs, which means, and we're going to keep this simple, if you're buying a $300,000 home, the seller can apply up to $12,000 in seller paid concessions. All right. Now you're probably thinking, well, my God, are my fees going to be $12,000? Typically, no. The answer is no on that. Now, we are seeing that insurance is going up and up and up nationwide. So that is raising those costs up a little bit. But in typical fashion, you're going to be looking between, depending on where you're at, between $6,000 and $9,000 for insurance and taxes, your title fees, and any seller or any closing costs. So question is, well, okay, now I've got 4% or $12,000 in this scenario, and I'm only using $8,000 of it. So does the seller just get that money back? Okay, there's a couple different ways to do this. Now, one way that most people will tell you is, well, then you can do an amendment to the contract, reduce the seller pay concessions from 12 to 8, and then you could reduce the price from $300 to $296. You can do that, absolutely, and that is one way of doing it. So then you're financing a little bit less money, but you're still coming to closing with no money out of pocket. The second way, and what I prefer, and what we try to do here at National VA Loans and Stride Bank, is any of that money that's extra from the seller concessions that's not being used to cover any of your costs, you can use that and apply it towards debt. I'm going to give you a really quick case. We just had a customer here earlier this month that closed their loan. They had seller concessions of roughly $10,000. They only needed about 8,200 of them. So we had $1,800 left over. So we looked at the scenario a couple different ways. We looked at one, backing down the purchase price, which is obviously one way to do it. But we also looked at the second way. The borrower had about a $2,000 credit card that they had on their credit report. So not paying a lot of money to it. Obviously, it was, 50, 60, 70 bucks a month, something like that, pretty low, but the interest rate was a little bit higher. So we got a payoff on that credit card, and we applied those seller concessions to pay off that credit card debt. Yes, you can use seller concessions for that. A lot of people don't understand that, and a lot of people won't even offer that because they don't know about it, but you can use seller concessions for that. That is not the first time we've done it. We do that in a lot of different cases. There's really no reason to reduce the loan amount because it's only going to be fractional in what it's going to save you on a monthly basis. A couple $1,000, you may only be looking at $3 to $5 a month, which in the grand scheme of things isn't a lot of money. But if you can pay off a credit card and alleviate or eliminate that credit card payment, or maybe it's a installment loan of some sort, and you can eliminate that payment, then that does save you money on a monthly basis. Not only that, it is going to increase your credit score because you're paying down debt. So to kind of recap here on seller concessions, you can use those concessions, anything from the seller. Now, this is negotiated up front in the contract, but you can use those concessions to eliminate all of your closing costs or a portion of your closing costs and anything above and beyond the closing costs that you have. So you get it to where you're bringing zero money to the table. Anything above and beyond that can be used to pay off any kind of debt that you have. So we use this, again, all the time, and it's something that you need to be looking out for as a buyer and as a veteran because there's not very many loans that allow for this, but the VA loan does. To contact us here at National VA to ask more questions about the closing costs and how these seller concessions can work in your benefit, give us a call, 855-956-4040. Again, it's 855-956-4040. Check us out online at nationalvaloans.com. Or if you are like me and you like to get things done and make things happen, go ahead and click on nationalapplynow.com. Fill out the simple mortgage application, simple and secure mortgage application. That'll come right to one of our VA specialists. They'll give you a call to go over all your different options and different ways to make things happen. And as always, to stay up to date with the most current information for VA home loans, check out youtube.com/national VA loans. We'll post videos here as much as we possibly can so that we can keep you informed of everything that's going on. Till next time, folks, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for your service. Have a very Merry Christmas and God bless.